Hey there! Hey there, YouTubes! I've mentioned this and joked about it that I'm now doing tarot readings and I fully use the tarot as like a cheat sheet for my being present with you guys. And I do a daily tarot reading on Instagram, and I feel like I sometimes will do tarot reading. What? Divine sight, divine sight, divine sight. I'll sometimes do a daily tarot here. So I'm traversing some energies. Hey, Michelle. What? So I'm traversing some energies of like more delayering, more breaking insidious patterns. I'm getting more lifted layers of insidiousness in our collective programming. And I'm increasingly aware. Hi, Melvin. I'm increasingly aware that more of us are definitely perceiving and or becoming aware and or busting through and transforming collective programs now. And then the binary, or like the polarity of that, or the paradox of that, is like hardcore rising divine people, like heart, like really, we're now really stepping into this paradigm shift energy in the collective of divine light. Like divine light is really waking up in the collective, and so much in like this exponential way, divine leaders are awakening to their divinity and beginning to walk their divine path. And this is fantastic news, everybody. Right? So more kings and queens rising to their divinity state beyond the veil, beyond the illusion, which means it's not the monarchy, it's not the royalty which we've been programmed to buy into as royalty, i.e. like not like actually the underbelly of what that is what we're awakening to via disclosure and our own awakening, which to me is kind of the same thing. Like our waking up to our divine heritage on the planet is one and the same as as the disclosure, because you can't really, you can't, I don't, certainly in my experience anyway, you're not going to be embodying your divine essence, your kind of divine embodied empowerment without lifting some of these veils, i.e., you're not going to be in your sovereign divinity and at the same time worship what's her name, the queenie, like worship celebrity. You're not going to be in your divine power and then still be worshiping Justin Bieber, although I mean, come on, he's a cutie, right? But there you go. Swing into that polarity of my own 3D reality. Idol worship. Wouldn't it be fantastic to hang out with Justin Bieber? Although the other day I made that point of like, again, with the disclosure, with your own awakening, at some point you're probably going to want to drop any idol worship, because a lot of us in this community have already been through it. One, for idols, i.e., we stopped worshiping the Spice Girls when we realized those shoes were way too big. And then in our yoga journeys, we stopped worshiping the so-called celebrity yogis, or we stopped, and a lot of us here in the YouTube vibrashe is that we had to walk away from even worshiping spiritual teachers. Like I'm sure I expressed that to you guys. Like, I got to a point, certainly once I published my book as well, like I got to a point of like not wanting to sit around and talk about law of attraction with people, because it was just more gobbledygook in my feeling awareness. I'm not judging people who want to talk about it and have discourse, because that's always part of our own learning, obviously. But vibrationally, like in my emotional awareness, in my integrity, something was off. I was like, well, when do I just get to go live and be free? Like, I love talking about all this great manifestation stuff, but it would appear to me that people talk about manifestation but don't change their lives. And then and again, especially when you're endeavoring to live it, and then eventually people again go into that manipulation. You start to feel oppressed, you start to feel kind of talked down to, or you start to feel, yeah, manipulation. And the manipulation ultimately comes from that distorted ego. It comes from that sense of having attachment to something external. And this is part of also sort of sharing and discussing the element of non-seeking fulfillment, validation, deservingness, anything ultimately from anything externally, which is like the hugest, like, like this laugh manifestation. It's just so fascinating to me, and at the same time really like deep and profound, and just like, oh my god. And like this, sitting with all these feelings and emotion, and then meeting more and more of you who are also like in your emotion field, and just like, holy shazbot, it's really ramping up. It's getting really exciting, only because I've in this, even in this last like week, I've had more international random bookings of people who are like, oh, meeting the YouTube vibrashe, going, oh my god, I've been there, oh my god, I know exactly what you're talking about. And this to me is just incredibly exciting. Now again, that's a different polarity of assumptive reasoning, of a projection of an assumption about however we're perceiving a situation, right? Versus the ones really dropping in quickly, the way they reflect back my own intuitive awareness and manifestation, and it's ushering the movement along. So to me, having the global new paradigm community is ultimately this next level integration process for many of us as a stronghold beacon. Now, the reason I put the homeward journey is that I'm beginning to really uplift into this realization of like, and like we do know this, but like home is where the heart is, right? Like that energy of home is where the heart is. And now I'm getting this weird sense of like, I was expecting, I guess maybe my 3D mind programming was like 3D, like I'm gonna do it, and this is how I'm gonna settle, and this is like why I need to be more calm, and why I want to be more relaxed, and why blah blah blah. But then I'm having this next level awareness of like, oh shit, but it's true, the home really is where the heart is. And like, because I'm feeling again this weird paradox of my own intuitive awareness of how the next phase is going to go, where I'm like, fuck, I'm going to be traveling a lot. But then like, but then some of that stirs up this like, ooh, I'm uncomfortable, and I just made me want to be calm and be settled. But there's so much subtlety in outworking intuition versus fantasy versus like in the here now presence. And mostly it's about here now presence and dialogue and actual like in the here now, you know, being connected ultimately. Hey you guys, so I'm literally gonna go through Florence and the Machine. I love them. I kind of worship her. Divine sight, remember, girl. Remember, you beautiful goddess. Whoever you worship out there, just remember that you are that. Hey, Abel. Divine sight absolutely embodies the divinity vibrashe. You worship the goddess in her as a reflection of the goddess in you. There it is. Sup one hot min. Oh, I love you guys and your badassery and your coolness. Hi, JS. How are you? I don't know where that's coming from. Hey, Amanda. Susanna. Nailed it. What's been nailed? I don't know. I've lost my train of thought, and now I'm just like, what's going on, you guys? So I'm getting ready for festival vibrashe. I'm going to get my. I'm just going into coffee talk. I'm getting my hair done to fix that random patch of what is live. Or you could also say fluorescent yellow orange. I'm not exactly sure. Hey Elliot, how are you? So yeah, it's all happening, I guess you could say. And now I'm just going into Blabfest amazingness. And so yeah, so the hair is getting done. I'm getting myself festival ready. There's a lot of stuff coming up in the body, I gotta say. It's all been nailed. Do you know what's that expression? You know, the last thing that it's an expression. Is this real or is this just made up in my mind? I'm not sure. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. So I'm like getting this feeling of like, yeah, it was this final piece that just like totally killed it, right? It was the straw that broke the camel's back. It was the Isn't there another one? Oh, nailing in the coffin. Was that a thing? It was the nail in the coffin. So I feel like this might be an ultimate turn, like, because we're now like 6, 7, and like the energies have been fucking building up really to this turning point in the year as we're heading into. Because to me, the eclipse points are like these turning points, and then we've had these many cycles over these last few years. Final nail in the coffin, thank you. And now it's really coming into that energy. So I feel like we're at the ultimate like turning point apex for really totally committing to our new life and committing to our like vibrational alignments and committing to the truth of our divine knowing versus the other. Because that's how it feels to me right now. It feels like, okay, ready? You got to make that jump, got to make that leap. You're not going back to the other. And I'm like, good, over and I can't. I'm tired of it. And like, and I can feel it at this point because the residue, and it's feeling real again. And like, once again, a month ago or a week ago was like, I'm so over that. And like, I'm totally legit manifestor master. And then residue comes up and you're like, oh, fuck, it's still, how did that creep in again? Where's this icky feeling coming from? And then you're like, but whatever, I'm a master, so I'm gonna keep dealing with it. So I'm sharing honestly, like, okay, some more residue might come up, some more fears might come up, some more trigger patterns might come up. Let us not avoid them. I'm just pulling. Damn the residue. No fucking shit, hot min. Oh, and sometimes the silliness just literally goes off the charts, and then I'm like, I can't contain it. But I'm aware that like none of it ultimately matters, and I sometimes am getting this real. I mean this from obviously from like a loving place, but I'm so over it, you guys. I'm so over the chase of the 3D reality that like every fucking advert now just triggers me where I'm like, oh god. Every adverts of like, okay, this is how you have to become a better influencer. Okay, hey guys, so this is how you're gonna spike up your and I all of it. I'm just like, it's all just like everyone's egos are suddenly expanding so huge. It's probably happening to me as well, which is probably why I'm getting triggered. Although sometimes I'm like, I can't, because I don't really actually feel that the majority of us have actually been driven by the ego vibrashe. Resonating hard as fuck. Okay, interesting. That's jolly fantastic. The residue is so bra. I know. For Shaz, my nazes. For shizzles, my nizzles. That's the legit truth. Mother's people have been trapped in hell for a long time. I know. This is where the climbing out of the darkness is just like so intense. I take the ego from a lot of these teachers selling ascension for 75. Hey, this is the legit. It is a financial exchange though, Michelle. I mean, from my point of view, certainly. I'm tired of them. Oh, bless you, honey bunches. I feel you. And hence the polarity of like sharing someone who's never been driven by money, but at this point that's become my actual guidance. And I know that sounds sucky as anything, and I can feel the ego edges that it can trigger in people as well. But for me in my guided journey at this point, I'm at a point now where I'm being guided to not engage with people that are sending emails or sending messages, and like I can engage here, but ultimately in my personal life, unless people book my time and have value financial value for my worth and my time and my energy and my insight and my perspective and my expertise, then I'm not really able to engage with them. Because what happens is that people take my time and then they want more of it and they want more of it, and I feel you do, and like that actually almost makes me want to cry, because like it's difficult, it's uncomfortable for me to not share and to not give and to not respond and to not want to help everybody all the time. But the universe basically, and because of what happened, like because of how deep my financial recess went, it's like saying I have to fully embody my sovereignty and integrity and independence financially speaking, and claim my worth financially speaking. And I know you understand that. And I also really want to extend and want to love and want to share with people. At the same time, there's a boundary with regards to just sharing with everybody, especially recently with more outworkings of people having expectation, or people thinking certain things, and then I'm thinking, oh no, this is my business, this is, as in I've never really had money because I've given so much time and effort with everything. mm, Not really. And sure. And Michelle, and I feel you, and I feel also like I feel so like um because I appreciate you guys so much, right? And certain connections, like I really feel the resonance, like I feel the legit, like you feel me, like it's all good, and what did you say, selling their egos? Yeah, bullshit. um well, and I gotta say, like, that's my I still have that ego challenge. Like, part of the edges today that I'm feeling are like, yeah, channels that are super duper successful, and I'm just like, wow, I just broadcast all the time on YouTube, and like my channel still loses subscribers every day. I'm like, but then I'm kind of a little bit like, I don't give a us, because the people that I meant to serve are here. As in, I just have total trust and blind faith that like I'm on the path, and so yeah, I'm broke because I give away readings. Exactly. This is a share totally like in oneness with you as far as exactly, and that doesn't serve us, girl. You know, giving our time and energy for free, it don't fucking serve nobody. Because that's the pattern. That's the pattern. Women's work, the divine feminine, emotionality, caring, nurturing, spiritual insight is totally effing denied and banished from our 3D reality. Even our so-called evolved communities, these new paradigm communities, I recently, like within a day, just delete. And you know what, I'm getting kind of tough love ruthless. If people are being really mean to me on this channel in their comments, if they're dissing on the work I do, I just delete the comment now. Before, I used to feel like, oh no, I'll keep it up, love light, unconditional love for everybody. And I do, and I feel that. But I'm tired of putting up with people's attack. I'm tired of putting up with people's, like, I don't know, yeah, just trying to baffle gaff other people. And yeah, Michelle, I'm with you as far as like, that's part of the expression here, is sniffing out the bullshit in the so-called spiritual enlightened communities. I gotta say, there's a bunch of stuff coming out for me around my mind valley. And again, I'm not here wanting to attack and defame and tear people down, but I am being honest about stuff that I pick up on in intuition, and like energies that, are they really pure or are they manipulative? And I care about the most um uh, emotion. So it's like, for me, Ultra Love is about the most disenfranchised people, the most outcast people, the people who have been completely alienated and pushed aside. We're the masses. This is the power of this movement to me, is that the real light of this humanity are the people that are unseen and unheard and have fuck all. And to me, that's what this real paradigm shift is about. It's not about parading a consciousness mastery over everybody so that we can make more money in the world. I'm really, really tired of people what triggers me in the Mind Valley vibrashe is this woman who I've done a course of hers, okay? When I was all about I deserve more and make more money and da 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 da, and it's like abundance blocks, and I keep getting bombarded by the advert, and she's like, are you not making enough as much as you'd like to make? And I'm thinking, something's up. Like, this is a veil. This is another 3D divisive construct in the 3D reality to then divide more people up about their worthiness and unworthiness, and still triggering people's fucking ego to make them buy in to something that is fulfilling another person's ego. It's not shifting our paradigm. The paradigm shift is so beyond us as individuals that personally, as in, I don't know how to give it all away other than just keep giving it all away. At the same time, in my little personal life, as far as MJ just being able to navigate the 3D reality construct, guidance tells me now I don't engage with people unless they book a session. I don't engage with people. I don't respond to emails. I don't watch people send me stuff. I don't watch it because that's not my job, right? I'm in service. And so people at this point in my personal life directing an online business, it's like, unless people book my time, I don't give it away. Because most of us know that we've damn near destroyed ourselves giving all of our energy away. You know what I mean? And I'm with you, I'm with you, Bravo. I'm with you, Down to Earth Dad. I'm with you, Aaron. So this is the common legit truth. And this is also stuff like I share about not buying into the not judging book by cover, because again, I've met that opposite end. I've met more abundant people that are technically poor in 3D reality and major limited fucking tight lack filled millionaires in this reality. So abundance has nothing to do with money as such. And I want to read it. Abundance is not money. Exactly. Money is a small part people made up. Exactly. I like the idea of money being an energy. So it's not locked into the debt system. It's locked into karmic system. But see, there's still an aspect there, I feel, of attachment to the construct of money. I feel that there's sometimes a cognitive dissonance in our ability to bridge into a paradigm where we're not using money as a means of exchange, but actually using our energy resource. Attuning and aligning with the biofeedback resonance so that we're not having to externalize any sense of power and control. Money is an illusion. And money is an illusion that was created to divide and control people. Yeah, kind of the Hermetic principle. And I sit with that. I do, Aaron. Like, I really sit with that as a construct, being like, what is the truth around it? And I am seeing more money show up in my reality. And I know that it's totally in alignment with me opening my heart to receive my love and receive that what I deserve. I'm also, though, aware of the bigger story going on that's beyond our personal, modern, Western, dominantly white civilization. Revel, I'm aware of that, my friend. That's also part of why I need to make money. I'm like, one, I do have a bit of I'm still a girl who likes to, like, have things. So, like, I buy clothes and I'm going to get my hair done, right? I've lost my train of thought. What were you saying? Oh yeah, it buys food. I'm like, yeah, money buys food too. But I also have been times where I've been so broke that I've miraculously met people who buy me meals and buy me food. And I've times where I've been homeless and possibly having to sleep on the street. I'll meet somebody serendipitously who will give me a bed for the night. I'm like, life does support us. It's just, I think there's a bigger context and a story going on that's delayering a veil which has been corrupting our consciousness for a really fucking long time. And it is part of it, that corruption, I think, is represented in money as a creation that people, even in our spiritual worlds, we don't want to talk about it, or we don't want to have to uproot the fucking economy because of how deep it goes in our consciousness as far as our unworthiness. And healing our unworthiness and our shame and our guilt is uncomfortable. And it requires a lot of bare bone honesty. And it's not necessarily cut and dry, but what I'm also aware of is that people in my culture don't let themselves bottom out. They hold on to their money and their resources for fear of, well, and I get it now, of being where I've been for these last 6 or 7 months. Digging in and letting go of an enslavement paradigm when it comes to your working life is apparently a pretty big and deep feat. And it is very doable, but like, heck, if I had kids, I don't think I could have gotten through it. If I had a husband, I don't think I could have done what I did this last 6 months. But that's why I am who I am. 'Cause I'm a badass. And ultimately, and it is a joyful. This is not a complaint vibrashe at all. This is a joyful, exuberant, but this is my life in service to all of humanity. This is my life, that getting a job and having kids and doing the family, as appealing as that is, that was never my primary focus. My primary focus has been like, guys, shall we try to end the suffering on this planet? Because it's fucking painful. I.e., all of the children, all of the innocent children on this planet, I felt like they're my responsibility. I know that's not inherently true, and yet my life path has been more focused on ending this suffering shit versus having stuff for myself, right? Having a big house or having fancy clothes. That was never interesting to me. Except also, as I delayer and deconstruct the reality, I'm realizing that a lot of the shit we buy into is actually really corrupted, right? It feeds really corrupted energetic creations. My kids, thank you. Hey, down to earth dad. Cheers. I love your kids. Thanks, Elliot. You can do anything. Oh, please talk about your take on the Epstein rabbit hole. Sure. So, Gracious Love is asking me about the Epstein rabbit hole. My take is actually a little bit of like intel from Sasha Stone, who knows a lot of these people. So what you'd say about Harvey Weinstein is that there's a deeper layer of the sex trafficking and satanic ritual abuse and pedophilia in Hollywood, right? So there's a much deeper web of corruption, and you could say that even someone like Harvey Weinstein is just a puppet and a bit of a scapegoat. Epstein. Oh, okay. Epstein. I don't know Epstein. No, Gracious Love. I'm thinking of that guy from, um, he's a Hollywood dude. The guy that I'm talking about. Jeffrey Epstein. Ooh, interesting. Gracious Love, my darlings. I don't know. Oh my, laugh out loud. What? What made you laugh out loud? We found each other. One hot minute. I'm going up to that, right? Are you a Q girl? Don't know what that is. And I don't know who Jeffrey Epstein is. And I'll do a bit of research, Gracious Love. If you want to share anything here, feel free. One hot min. Enough of us finally actually realize this, and the tables have turned in our favor. This is without a shadow of a doubt the what is energetically coming in these collective intuitions, and just in my, like, you know, weird flow time inside self, is like, yeah, it's on, like, it's all changing, and the whole world as we know it is going to continue to metamorph in front of our eyes, and those of us holding space are literally just holding space. Financier with the Lolita Express. Ooh, this sounds like some kind of scandal that is triggering more awakenings in people, right? He was just arrested for child trafficking. Tell me more about your guys' perception of it, and I'll feedback off of it and noodle. children being trafficked from Social Robertson, Montana. So the trafficking and the pedophile rings and you know what I mean, pedophile rings, then the sex trafficking and the satanic the satanic ritual abuse is essentially the kind of covert or the shadow underlay aspect of the 3D reality construct of control and domination. So how control energy has remained in the control domination is ultimately through traumatizing the consciousness of humanity. So when you put humans in front of humans and then you ritualistically traumatize them and sacrifice babies and drink the blood of innocence and that layer of darkness is so dark that it traumatizes a huge bandwidth of humanity, which is how we all got, you could say, blinded, traumatized, and then we bought in. And then once we've been looped in, it's been 26,000 years, 13,000 years, 2,000 years of karmic uncycling and or outworking. Again, all part of Earth's trajectory in a binary solar system of dark and light. We all choose this as a generation station. But it's the trauma that we're working out in the field of humanity via the controller darkness web, which basically traumatizes you to act out the puppetry, which is what a lot of our celebrity culture is about. A lot of the celebrity culture are puppets. They're slaves acting out these veils for us to all go, I want to be like Katy Perry. I want to be like Justin Bieber. I'll just work really hard and be a good citizen of my 3D reality. And then before we know it, we're just working really hard. And I guess going to the Bieber shows or going to the concerts, saving up our hard-earned money to buy the clothes that Beyonce wore in her show, that's supposed to be enough, right? As in, let's just go to the football games and distract ourselves from the fact that we're being enslaved, the fact that our energy is being traded on this stock market, right? So us talking about how to disengage the economy is incredibly important because that's part of how it enslaves us. We buy into it as a real thing. Hence why new paradigm leadership, a lot of us, by the way, down to earth dad, Aaron, I have to mention an insight too, because I'm getting it now and I'm having to remind it because it's something to do with this insight, is that, it's that many new paradigm leaders are being guided to land. It's like we're going to be given it. The land will be given. The land will be shown. We will be guided to the land. Many of us will be connecting to Aboriginal tribes and people who will offer us that insight, right? I just love you guys. So it's, and then I got this other insight. So I've had a lot of like divine healing yesterday as well. It's like so divine, it's hardcore emotion, but like, okay, so we're gonna be guided to the land and we're gonna be guided to the water. It's like baptisms en masse, you guys. So many of you, I know, I was like literally reading messages and then I'm like, hello. So yeah. And just nailed the purpose of it all. And we hear releasing the karma, yes. And kept it all in this revolving door, yes. Now we get to walk through the door of pure possibility. Yes, Juan Hartman, yes. And that's the, what is it? The Harry Met Sally, yes! 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 This is it! We're walking through the door of our own mastery, and it's so weird, but wonderful at the same time. And again, we're here, we're anchoring these light codes, eh? We're having lots of space. Beautiful, beautiful. Ooh, chills. I know, that's why I have to message you about it, my friend, because I can feel, and like, again, powerful synchronicities and energies coming through for everybody, big time. I know, I love you, Shule! Me, Julie. We've got this Epstein stuff, spewing lava, much lava. Well, isn't lava totally rebirth vibrashe? Right? Like, lava will, like, overspill, cover everything, kill everything in its path. But then, once a volcano erupts over, it's like, it births new life. Isn't it meant to, like, recycle or help to shift the ecosystem or something like that? It builds islands. Thank you. Something like that. So, it's like, okay, and this is, again, it's not like I know how all this is unfolding. This is just affirmed and or like confirmed new paradigm insight around how the leaders are being guided, all intuitively. Some are actually embedded in it, like what's his face, blah blah blue, Sasha Stone, who I interviewed for New Earth. Like he's gonna get his island probably soon and start creating. And then I've had one of you guys who are part of this community have mentioned getting an island and getting some yachts. And so it's like basically we already know what we're here to do and create, as in it's basically so that was the insight yesterday for one of you guys who will know who you are, but take them to the water. So more and more of the divine light workers, as they activate their light codes, it's like they're going to be ushered into how they heal and how they support the mass healing. So essentially, I just see in my grid or in my vortex, it's like there's these stronghold cleansing vibrational cleaning crews, which are like coastal, so people taking people to the water to do soul contract revocation, to reclaim their sovereignty, but to also heal and to remind themselves of the cleansing healing water. But then also it's like with more and more of the masses going to their water, being sort of like Christed, you could say, their feet coming into the water is also one and the same as healing the waters of the planet. So the healed state, the healed vibrational frequency of our humanity via all of these cleansing tears and these emotional storms is healing our DNA, which then our feet touch the water heals us, and we heal the water. And then that continues to evolve us. And then the other faction of our mass demographic of a humanity that's alive, they're going to be drawn to the land. So the trees and the plants and the land, that's what we're going to be yoking and harmonizing to heal the land, and then to heal us, and then us heal the land. And that's the biofeedback, co-creative evolution of our healing state. Does that make sense to everybody? Blood and water, earth and water. And then we are the conduit of light that actually help to manifest the evolution, right? Yeah, keep breathing. Thank you, Gracious Love. So, Gracious Love, thanks for your little inputs. I feel like you're holding space for all of us here right now. Indeedly, doodly, doodly, doodly. So, keep breathing and grounding and relaxing and loving. Love hard vibrashe the shit out of yourself. Because, yes, emotions are likely to be running very high. May God provide healing and fullness of the potential to the victims of these trafficking rings. 100%. 100%. There's only love. And remember that even through the victimhood of choice, that the ones who have chosen that to be the victim, that is their divine choice as well. That in truth, in this co-creative universe, there are no victims. That the victimhood consciousness is a choice from a soul. So even the people in this darkest web of corruption and horror and ugliness through our perception, that there is choice and there is divinity in all of it. In all of it. This is how a lot of us as the empath can rise out of our guilt patterning, of feeling somehow guilty for all of this corruption. It's that we are only responsible for our own awakening. We're only responsible for our guided and chosen path. And yes, in service to compassion and unity and love, but taking no shit. And allowing people to walk their path in their integrity, and kind of in a way getting over the way the media has triggered us to respond to violence. Because again, that's a tactic, right? It's a control and domination tactic. Why in these... Deva, let me find you. Let me find you, my friend. Why in these trance states do my flippin' eyes turn red? I'm seriously not okay with it. I smile and acknowledge my shadow, but what the fuck? Do my flippin' eyes turn red? Are you seeing red? Are you seeing the color? That's only I'm asking, Starseed, because it's like red is coming through for some of you. I've got about 2 people in my like close network who are seeing red and orange a lot, and I get a sense it's to do with sexual healing and activation in the collective. right, their root chakra is just affirmed from down to earth. When doing Reiki in deep trance. I don't know, and I don't align personally. This is just my personal preference. Like, I don't align in the Reiki world. That could be something I would have to discuss or put you in touch with somebody about, possibly checking out. I'm hearing, are your hands burning? For some healers, for those of you, I have a video about this with one of my teachers, but so for some of you, there might come a point in your healing journey that you have to actually remove the entities, the Reiki entities, because Reiki is again, it's a form of energy healing, obviously, but at some point it can actually distort your pure connection to source, because you're channeling the Reiki, right? You're not channeling your pure potentiality. You're not channeling your pure connector point. As in, I've worked with a healer, and this is my healer, who she started burning people because the Reiki was distorting her channel. So yeah, her hands got so hot she was burning people, and then it ended up being guided to like Nepal or someplace where the healer was like, you need to remove the entities that the Reiki has put in your field, because that is distorting your direct connection. So la 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 la. La 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 la. Okay, I do want to help, and I do want to put you in touch with her. Who's so Starseed? I need help with that. Starseed Deva, my love. If you email me, molly@altalove.com or teamlove@altalove.com, or go to altalove and just do a contact, right? I've been seeing stars follow me, etc., like ships or whatever. I think there's a connection. Yeah. And this is actually synchronistic, because you're talking about seeing ships. One of my only contact experiences was, so when I started to connect to cosmic origins and different constellations like the Pleiades and Arcturus and stuff, this is the woman I was speaking to. So it doesn't surprise me that you're having contact and that we're connecting here, and that I'm getting inspired to want to put you in touch with her. Because I'm intuitively sensing you've got certain entities around you that are blocking direct connection and that are slightly distorting the energy flow in your body. Do you think there is? Possibly, yeah. I've been seeing the stars following me. Yeah, like ships, whatever. Yeah. Because that's when I started to have visitation. But also, I had to clear a lot of external running programs that were disempowered, basically. And she helped me do this. So she's also the woman that can help us with the soul contract revocation. Soul directed sovereignty. Soul as in SOUL, directed sovereignty, but I'm going to double check that. Again, if you scan through, obviously I have so many videos on this channel, but if you scan through and look for a woman named Colleen Tamek, pardon me, this burden for the sanctity of humanity in order to break free of the grips on sovereign humanity. Yeah, for sure. So Starcy, just feel free, honey, if it's like feeling in resonant, get in touch with me, and then I'll put you in touch with her. She's a main pillar, I would say, in another branch of people healing their auric field. Like people, so you know how we all have a different function, right? And like, so at a certain point in my journey, people who introduced me to my cosmic origin and also started to remove ethereal contraption in my field, which then evolved, ultimately helped me break free from the chains of limitation around my body, because I wasn't sort of unconsciously acting out certain things. And then, around my speaking and healing, I worked with these healers, and they removed this weird, it's so weird to think about it, but like, this is when the experience really started to bridge out and go deeper and like weirder and but crazier and more awesome at the same time. So she removed, I basically like had a contraption, but again, ethereal. So most 3D people wouldn't see it, but like I had a contraption around my thing, and they removed it, and and there was a clock. This is all in my aura that when they were doing the healing, they were like talking between themselves, and they were lighting up past lives and all this, and they started to remove it all. And then I felt like high on pills for about 2 days after the healing. I I was basically setting off on my healing and all, not my healing rather, but I was in my healing. I still am. But yeah, that's when I really started to do the speaking. And I was like, holy shit balls. And weirdly, like the clock piece had this weird connection to a past life memory and a recurring dream of like an Orthodox priest and sacrifice and ritual abuse and that. And it's not by chance that this clock being removed from my aura and this being removed has then lifted another veil of my own awareness around the Vatican, the Catholic Church, our disempowered disconnection, our time in Egypt. Like, it's just crazy how once you peel the veil of 3D reality and start to bridge yourself into your multidimensionality and galactic self, universal self, planetary self, and solar self, suddenly a lot of the different timelines start to make sense about who you are and why you're here and what the fuck you're doing here. However, I really truly don't believe that anyone can do that for you. And my favorite healers, including Kali, have been the ones that give me my power. You know, she never dictated to me what my past lives were. She never dictated to me how I'm going to heal. Although she did help highlight to me that we carry things in our etheric bodies, which is another one. As we open up to all of that, we can attune to it. And I know it sounds effing weird, but like and again, hit emotion, I intuitively see stuff in people's bods. Like, I can see people with chains around their body. I can see people with daggers in their back. I can see people with ethereal scars, right? And so there's this battled state of humanity, but most people are invisible to it because we're all wearing masks, overlays, deception, devil, get thee behind me. We're carrying the devil in our field, right? And then we unconsciously project it out there and pretend like we have nothing to do with it. Okay, I think that's me for today, you guys. Funny energies. I'm wanting to wish you well. I really appreciate how you show up here and also how you support me and how you support one another, because I feel that our reflections and our affirmations and the way we support one another is really helpful for a lot of us at this time who have felt so kind of alone and alienated for most of our lives. Time to eat a lime. In my throat often, same. Yeah, it's sovereignty. And again, it's all love. I'm working on the divine. It's all love. Yeah, and you are. And we are. I kind of feel like, I don't feel like you'd be able to res here, y'all. Like, I don't feel like most of you would res here if you weren't, like, in divine service. Because I can't, as much as, like, my ego or programming would say, how dare you, or how dare you say that or think that, I'm like, it's because it's the legit truth. It's just what I think about. It's what I write about. It's how I feel in my heart, love, vibration, you know? I'm like, I'm not trying to get anything or prove anything. I mean, in fact, most of my life, I'd just be like, I just want to crawl in a hole and die because I don't know how to survive here and I'm scared, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, but it's okay, and there's love, and we noodle and we share, and like, yeah, at this point, I'm like, it is divine, because really mostly it's just been my heart love, you know, but I have the ego bullshit too. But what the fuck? Exactly. I'm just like, I think we're doing our best. Michelle, I love you, darling. Have a great sleep, my friend. So lovely to see you here tonight. Sitting by a fire, sending love, Alf. So looking forward to sitting by a fire with you one day, my friend. But Starseed, for sure, what the fuck? Not showing fear, just love. I know you are. I know. Oh, for sure you are. And I think there is that's part of how we res here, is the divinity, is the fact that the love we are can hold space for a lot of density, you know, and I want to say density and a lot of intensity. I gotta say, like, intuish, it's like really, really, you guys, most of the shit that we're processing now is just the collective pain body. I mean, the seeing red, you're gonna be opening your portal to help heal the karma. And right now, it would appear by your guys' reflecting to me, red and orange. Red and orange are the root and sacral chakra points. So clearly there's massive healing happening in our sex energy, you know, which is coming up, which those of us, if it's hitting us, it's that we have the capacity to heal it. So you do definitely have capacity to heal it. If you're feeling called to reach out and get in touch with Kali, I'm sure she can do some work to remove the entities of the Reiki if that's what's needed for you. Intuition feels like that is pretty much what's coming up here, is that any of you guys with the Reiki attachments, you can let that go and step into your full power as a healer. Especially if it's distorting energy and making everything a little bit off. I shall have the best day. Thank you. I'm getting my hair done to fix the yellow. It's a little much, isn't it? Also, I had a friend as well being like, no, it looks really good. And I'm like, yeah, but look, that's not attractive, you guys. That's not slickerish. MJ can do better than that. And I got a random couple bookings yesterday, so I'm like, oh, guess what? And the universe is providing MJ with the cash to do it, so guess what? And I want to look as good as possible for the fezzies. Because... let me just say this, you guys. Because my MJ hasn't been out for, like, a party since last year at the same fucking festival. Same festival last year. That was the last time MJ had a bit of a... So I'm gonna go party this weekend. But I probably will still share. I'm not gonna lie. Stop the madness! You stop the madness. You stop pooping there. You stop pooping into my mind, woman. Oh my god, you guys. And like I'm the thing is, like, I would like to party more. I'm just totally reclusive. I'm not as much, but anyway. Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna go now because I'm starting to get the delirium where it's all just pure, absolute debauched silliness. But I thoroughly enjoyed the share this morning. I have so much love for you guys. Have a gorgeous day wherever you are in the world. Oh yeah, I love how you guys remind me. I'm like, virtual hugs. Virtual hugs. I'm just like, it's like, imagine a big group hug, right? Hugs! Hugs! Hot love. Hot love. All right, you guys, have an awesome sleep. Great. Stop pooping! Me and Julie, we just like poop all over the place. It's fantastic. But emoji poop love. It smells delicious. Oh my god. Shh. Like, just shh. Yes, good night. Good night, you guys. I'll see you next time. Peace and love. Peace and love is all there is. Okay, I'm going.